Tolleson-Mack podcast. As you can see, we are not in the Buckle Bunny room. We're live from the Toyota Finley Toyota Center, Prescott, Arizona. We got one of my good buddies. Super proud of him. We talked to his dad a lot, but this is JC Mortensen. Uh, we're here at the Mortensen Invitational, right? The bull riding you guys are putting on.
Yeah, so the Prescott Valley Invitational, but it's basically the Mortensen Invitational for us.
They told me they had all these kind of names, and I'm like, I'm just gonna call it the Mortensen Invitational because, like, you guys are. I think I commented the other day on Facebook, and that's a pictures of you on there and your brother riding, and I think maybe like your dad in his sport coat and shit, running around. I was like, that's like the first family of bull riding. Like, those dudes are pretty badass from the top to the bottom. And then I got to hang out with Juki in the parking lot the other day, so that was cool.
Yeah, no, it goes way far back here. Even you walk in the Hall of Fame, my great grandfather is the first guy you see there riding in Prescott in the 1930s.
So I think you know this, but so we have a cabin here and have had a cabin here for a long time. Go to the Prescott Rodeo every year and everything. And I found a 2006 last night. I was at the cabin. I found a 2006 program from the rodeo, and your grandpa was like the grand marshal or the director of the rodeo or whatever. I was like, how freaking cool is that? And tomorrow we're gonna be at like interviewing his grandson. That's pretty badass.
And you should be like me and Brandon said. We've been here a day and a half, and we see what's going on, how you guys putting this show together, and you yourself have a big impact to how this thing gets going. And you worked your ass off. We watched you, so we game recognized the game. We've seen you out there working your ass off to make this thing happen. Not saying that other people aren't, but we saw you.
Yeah, some more than others.
Get that Mortensen right. Yeah, we know which Mortensen.
Shit, driving around with your dad.
Yeah, he goes and gets a haircut and wears a sports coat around yesterday, thinking he's doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him too. But we were laughing because you were out there, and I was like, "Man, how you doing?" You're telling me, and we'll get into this later about your shoulder. But you're like, "Yeah, I got this shoulder surgery, this and that." And then he's like, "Didn't he just tell you got to have shoulder surgery?" He's out there pounding panels in and shit. So let's talk about that. 23rd in the world, huh?
Yes, sir. I think I finished 22nd, maybe 23rd. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a rough deal. I went home when I was sitting 18th, and my shoulders wouldn't come in. I ended up fracturing my leg, and I just pretty beat up. It wasn't fun no more. And those guys are riding pretty dang good lately. And shoot, they had about $30,000 lead on me.
Yeah.
Going into the finals. So
when'd you come home? What time of the year? At the end, or
before Pendleton and everything.
Oh, okay.
Ellensburg was my last rodeo.
Okay.
And you were just kind of beat up, huh?
Yeah, really beat up. I'd get off, my shoulder would come out about every bull ride.
You were telling me when you climb the panels, your shoulder comes out.
Yeah, and it gets so, shoulder injuries, they get so sore, and couldn't perform to the best. I was still riding 50% of my bulls all year with a bad shoulder, so it still worked out pretty good. But
that 50% was riding on heart.
Yeah, that was just getting sticky. Exactly.
You just weren't gonna let go. So
hello. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Ellensburg was your last rodeo?
Yep.
So since Ellensburg, I know we see you out here busting your ass, but do you try to start rehabbing that shoulder and get some surgery scheduled and shit like that? You know what I mean?
I did. I scheduled my surgery a little too late, so I'm gonna reschedule it. I scheduled it for January just because I'm so worn out from this year rodeoing, and I was on the road for many months. I had surgery last year on my knee and my shoulder. And so it's just been terrible.
Explain that to the listeners, right? So, I know you know about the podcast. I talked to you, but like a lot of guys that come on here are team ropers and stuff. We very rarely get to talk to bull riders. So explain that to the listeners. Like, you come home with an injury. This is your job. This is how you make money. So you need to get that surgery and get your ass rehabbing because you got to get back to work.
Yeah, right? I don't get paid. I don't have a job. I ride bulls for a living ever since I finished high school. I didn't quite finish high school, but I ride bulls that's what I do for work.
How long have you been pro?
4 years since I was 18.
So is this your best year rank wise? You ended up 22nd or whatever.
Yes, sir. I went home 2 years in a row at Ellensburg being hurt with injuries.
But you never went home being that close to the 15th.
Yeah, this is in Ellensburg I was actually 16th year the year before that. And my shoulder was blown all the way out though. I couldn't even move my arm no more.
So you said you've had knee and shoulder surgery. So this will be the second shoulder.
The shoulder surgery, yeah.
On the same one.
It's different shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's a good and a bad thing, maybe, huh?
It is. Yeah. I could ride with it. It didn't, but I got hung up, or if I landed weird, it came out every time. So I landed above my head, it come out.
I seen I saw a video on YouTube. I went down a rabbit hole and just was watching like all your guys' stuff. And you got hung up somewhere. I want to say New Mexico or something. And you see your dad jump over with his sport coat, just full blast coming to save you. That was pretty cool. I mean, have your dad there. You know, you're gonna get out of a wreck. He'll help you, huh?
He's got me out of a lot of wrecks and got into a lot of wrecks with me.
I heard about a wreck the other night, maybe with some bike riders, Harley Davidson. Well, that's another podcast, though.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother story. Yeah, but I mean, let's touch on that a little bit. Like, I've been around you for a long time, and your dad has always been around, and we give him a lot of credit for building you guys, and you know, we give your mom a lot of credit for building you guys because, I mean, just not being a tough bull rider is not all it's about, right? We got to give Annie a lot of credit because I mean, you guys are good boys, good men.
Oh yeah, no, it goes back to JC Trujillo and
back to JC, yeah.
above that John Ground. He's on the other side. Owned Red Rock.
Yeah, I told you. Well, we've seen your truck today.
Yeah, that's John's old truck. He travels with me to rodeos. That's my traveling partner.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's like his grandpa or uncle or something like.
So you said he owned Red Rock?
Yeah, he owned Red Rock.
So is he part of that challenge with Lane?
He's the one that came up with the challenge.
Okay.
He was the one, yeah. Yeah, he was the one. Boy, he's got some stories, huh?
Oh man.
Did you ever get to hear any of those stories?
Oh yeah, I was actually in Hawaii with him last weekend, looking at bucking bulls to buy in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So he's got some stories of going to Hawaii with Lane and Tough a long time ago. Now he's taking me there.
What's the best story he's probably ever told you that's PG enough that you could tell?
Oh man.
The first time I ever heard you give a shit about if it's PG or not. Well, go ahead.
I mean, I'm trying to ease
Turn over.
Yeah.
the ride thing. I don't want you guys to make me keep interviewing team ropers.
Yeah. No, he just been with all my heroes for so long, you know, and just telling stories about the heroes, and he tells me good stories. I don't hear nothing bad. Yeah.
That is pretty cool, man. I watched the other day. I watched like a Bad Company video from like the '80s or something, where Tough and all of them flew on a little plane, and they did a whole bad. That was just a different rodeo and way of life. You know what I mean? Like, those dudes were wild.
Oh yes.
They just got out off the plane with their chest puffed out, like they were just
Because
ready.
back in those days, social media, there wasn't everybody with a phone and a camera, so they were the rock stars when people knew it. You know what I mean? Like, it was a different world. They didn't need all the clout. They say, you know, their clout was when they showed up. So
Yeah, they were known. Yeah.
What do you think about like that? The clout side of it, right? I mean, you're 23rd in the world, you're 22nd in the world, you're top 25. I mean, I know that you guys are raised around it and raised a lot differently than most, but does that ever kind of start to work in your head a little bit? Like, man, I'm the 20th bull rider in the whole world. You know,
bull riding son of a bitch.
No, because I just ain't been where I want to be yet, and
That's
you know, I've been in the top 15 every year. I've been in the top 15 since I've been 18. I've been hurt. I've had 4 major surgeries now.
So what are we gonna do to keep you not hurt and get you to the finals?
Bubble
You know,
wrap.
better and stay on all of them.
Well, I know you can stay on. How are we gonna get you rehabbed and keep you?
Yeah.
healthy?
Yeah, I don't know that question.
Do you think it's the hard running? Because I mean,
Yeah,
if it's 2 years in a row, it fucking happens at Ellensburg. there
yeah,
might
it's a
be-
long year,
You know what I mean? That's,
and it's just hard to tell when you're really hurt though too, because if we get you've done the same stuff. You've been around your whole life. You get stepped on your leg, it hurts
yeah,
every time. You never know if it's if it's snapped, but if it's just like if your shoulder's torn out,
you don't.
you
Yeah,
just keep going and it don't work.
You can keep on keeping on. You just keep doing.
You just keep doing it, and it's
How many rodeos do you think you went to before Ellensburg?
so throughout the whole year I got on 71 bulls at pro events, PRCA events. That's including short rounds, 2 heads and short round type of deals, and I was riding 50% of all them bulls, so it ended up being a all right deal. And I didn't get on. Most guys had about like 140 done, so I was half of what everybody else was. I was whenever you look on Pro Bull stats, whenever it comes through there, every month they do a top bull rider guy. I was always in the top 15, but I would have half the bull numbers those other guys had because my show was coming out so much I couldn't make them other rodeos.
Do you ever go to a bull ride? I mean, it's probably a dumb question. You probably yes, but I mean, go to a bull ride and you're like, man, that bull, I know I ain't gonna be marked high enough, and just say, you know, I'm not gonna get on tonight, or you just get them on all of them. I mean, do you?
Yeah, no, I won't go.
No, you won't even show up.
Yeah, if I don't like them.
So you have a list of the bulls prior to entering?
Yep.
Oh, so you
week before.
So you say, okay, just for instance, there's 30 bull riders and there's 30 bulls, and you say, shoot, there's only about, say, 10 of them bulls that I think I could win on, and there's 20 that I can't, so the odds are against you. Do you just not enter?
I still enter.
Are you still
I
enter?
gotta pay my turnout fees.
Oh,
You pay your entry fees, which is usually $220 plus $100 turnout fee.
oh, wow. So it costs you the money.
Yeah, it cost me a lot, especially being hurt how I was this year.
But you gotta pay them fees to get the draw.
Yes. Yeah.
To see what the chance that I see. Yeah.
And like being hurt this year, I couldn't go every day. Like and like
You kind of had to pick and choose.
yeah, and like having a good mindset in my family, like you said, we've always had good mindsets and learning how to be a champion. You don't say that you can't do something, you can't ride one. But there was one that like I probably gonna have a hard time riding. I won't get on the sucker.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably hard for you too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen you get on some fire breathing dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, slay them. So, or end up on your head, but you were trying. The
Yeah.
whole time, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and usually the bull that I can win first place on, I'll get on every time. It's just you've owned bulls, you get a crappy one sometimes. It'll
Oh,
just run a guy off, and that's not one I want to get on.
no, and I mean, and really, even as a contractor, you can't really blame them guys because it goes back to this guy makes a living riding bulls.
Yeah, you gotta be smart about it.
You got to be smart about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's you. You're farming. You got to pick and choose who you bale hay for. You got to pick and choose what you do, who you
Yeah.
sell hay to.
So you PRCA primarily, that's your
Yes,
deal,
sir.
and then your brother, he's with the
PBR.
PBR. So I mean,
And last year I did PBRs. I
So-
was on the first team deal.
So-
They did the team deal.
when you're on the team, tell the listeners at home, like guess what's the difference between the PBR and the PRCA.
So the PBR is bull riding individually, and the PRCA is what everybody knows.
Mhm.
It's the NFR top 15 in the world, all the top
Cowboy.
Cowboys. It's
Cowboy.
It's
Yeah.
a top 15 in the world
Yeah.
at the NFR.
Yeah.
PBRs, they take 45 guys, and there's 45 bull riders there. They're not saying there's great bull riders there, but it
Is
ain't
that-
the top 15 in the world.
You're going towards that gold buckle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not gonna down talk the PBR. They have awesome bulls. They have awesome bull riders. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. The PRCA is Cowboys.
Yes.
I mean, and that's I don't know if you watched the one that we talked to about your dad, but that's what I said. I said if I could say one difference between your two boys, like Jackson is the PBR and JC is the PRCA, because JC will pick up broncs, rope bulls, and I'm not saying Jackson can't do that.
Yeah.
But I see you doing
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And that's the easiest way to tell those two apart. You know.
It really is. And not saying if you don't match the top 15 PBR guys up with the top 15
Right.
PRCAs, Jose could
How
beat
cool would
Sage,
that be?
but Sage could beat Jose. Stetson,
Yeah.
yeah,
How badass would that be, dude?
Yeah.
Take the top 15 from the PBR and the top 15 that made the NFR, give them 30 days to be healthy,
Mhm.
and match them.
That'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, it would be. I mean,
And correct me if I'm wrong too. Most of the bulls kind of intertwine, right? So there'll be
Oh, yeah.
PRCA bulls at PBRs, but
Yep.
vice versa.
Yeah, like I've got on about every top PBR bull.
yeah, I agree with that 100%. But the PBR bulls at some levels, they want a little different bull. Like, so I think you're going
Yes.
to get a little more high-headed, crossbred, a little,
Yes.
I don't want to say ranker, but
Yeah, no, but
you know
as
what
Brandon's
I'm
saying, and no, that's 100% right. The PBR, you're going to ranker bulls every weekend.
Yeah,
But throughout the year, of me getting on 70 bulls, I got on 5 of them that are running for bull of the year.
right.
Yeah.
But that's not every time. That's 65 other bulls that were good spinners for me to get on.
Yeah, and I mean, like when we were up on the catwalk, we went and walked up. Well, we didn't walk very much because I was shaking, but like we were up here on the catwalk, and I was telling Craig and Brandon there was a yellow extension cord laying in probably in the middle of the arena somewhere, a little in front of the buck and shoots, and I said anything goes past that yellow extension cord ain't gonna score very well. These
Yeah.
guys don't want to get on that. They want it right there, no matter what it's doing. They
Right
want
there.
it right there
Yep.
in the buck and shoot. Yeah. And you had said yesterday about some of the bulls that we had that our bulls were rider friendly, and that is what I always. I mean, I look for rank ones.
Yes.
I wanted tough ones, but I didn't want nothing that was intentionally going to hurt a guy or fall or trip or real good.
Exactly. You're going to have a good old fashioned fist fight instead of somebody biting somebody's
Yeah.
ear off.
Exactly.
Like, there's no cheap stuff there with the good bulls.
You want them to win on your bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And buck hard to be cool to
Yeah.
watch.
yeah.
Not just knock them in the first
Yeah.
jump and then that's just fun and dandy.
Squirt off from underneath.
Yeah.
you.
And that's kind of where we got in our deal was we started, okay, we're gonna go to the Roadrunner, we're gonna go to the Buffalo Chip, and we're gonna buck some bulls. Well, we started blanking them. 20 guys would buck off. If these guys were all out of town and the Indians were out of town, we were blanking everybody else. And then okay, well now we got to go to a different level and find some different guys. So it is a cool game.
It is a
Right?
cool game.
Like you get to match up, and I mean, I got excited when these guys got on. I mean, but not just you guys, but like the Grangers from
Yeah. Justin Lane,
Justin Lane,
Tyson, all them guys.
Yeah, all those guys. When that Tuba City crew showed up, these guys came from down here. Like you were gonna put on a bull riding, and like you said, it was gonna be a night fight.
Yep.
What's your favorite pro rodeo?
Oh man, Prescott here in Prescott's
Oh, yeah.
cool. I won Prescott one year,
Duh.
and I got the Prescott buckle.
That's
So
awesome. That's
You
cool.
let your grandpa wear it?
no, I got that one.
That's cool.
But Calgary's awesome. I've done really good at Calgary every time I've gone there, and
Crowd's
rodeo.
wild, huh? Big
oh
old
yeah, they got
monster
enough
crowd.
fucking shoots.
Party.
Best party?
Let a buck room.
I haven't made it to Pendleton.
Yeah, I'm in that. Yeah.
I've never made a year that far into Pendleton.
He's like, fuck Ellensburg.
Yeah.
I've actually never made it there.
Yeah.
It's like the very next rodeo, isn't it? Ellensburg, then yeah.
Pendleton.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to go to the hospital too many nights in Ellensburg.
Shout out to our new sponsor, Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, where do you think the best party is?
Man, I don't know. Cheyenne's really cool. They got a bunch of stuff going on in Cheyenne. Those concerts, Kid Rock played a little while ago, and then
That'd be pretty badass.
there's a party everywhere. It's hard to tell. It depends on where you had the most fun at, I
Hampton
guess.
Inn, room 106.
Yeah.
I remember I came here for one of your guys' bull rides, and I brought bulls, and I ended up freaking one too many over there on Whiskey Road. Remember, and I came the next day, and my legs all broke because some guy kicked me from the side. Oh yeah, hanging out with the Mortensens.
Yeah, Whiskey Row's rough. Whiskey Row, you can't beat the party there. It's like probably you might get in a fist fight. It's like,
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Jersey Lils. Man. That place is fun, always a good time, and they're a partner, right?
yes, and always a good time. You go there, it's always a good bartenders in there, and the girls will beat anybody up talking crap.
Yeah. They kind of watch out for us a little bit,
Yep.
you know.
Oh yeah.
Your dad gets a little rowdy, I get a little rowdy. Oh, they're all right.
Yeah, they're all right.
Simmer down.
There's some old guys in the corners trying to hold on to their youth. Yeah, so cool. Well, what's going on here? So we obviously know it's the Invitational. Mike Lee's coming, Ed Nice coming. A lot of big name guys. Is
Yep.
your brother riding?
Yep, Jackson's riding. Dawson Brain, Avery Mullins.
Oh, Avery's coming.
Avery's
Cool.
top young guy in the world right now.
Avery, obviously, everybody watch Cameron ride. Right?
Yep.
And I remember watching Cameron ride as a kid, and just Cameron was like his head would be hitting the ground, still spurring with his hand in the handhold. I don't know how he stretched out like that, but I watched him do it many times. And Avery rides just like him, like he comes kicking.
Yep. Comes to win.
Comes to win, and yeah, he's gonna buck off or he's gonna.
Yep.
That's it. And to me, like bull riding, that's the fun thing to watch. You know,
Yep.
It's like same with you guys. Like you guys come kicking. Your dad was telling a story about. I guess you guys can't remember the bull's name, but you had like a PBR bull at your house, and you were pretty young.
Yeah.
And you kept begging him to get on it, and he's like, dude, they went 90 on this sucker like 2 weeks ago at PBR. And he's like, well, cool. I'm gonna go 90 on him right here in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I bull riders are definitely a different breed. A different breed of guy. I want to get your take on bar bull rider, not on like the shit talking side of it, but just like on is it helping the sport or hurting the sport? I think.
I think it helps it. I think sure helps the sport with the fans. I wouldn't say it's helping the bull riders.
No,
but it is helping it like for some point. Some guys see bull riding, they want to go try it out. Gives them a good deal. Like even whenever Luke and Gina used to do the deal down there in Hogging Horses, that was good. There's
what a goofy arena that was. It was like
terrible,
an angle.
scary, dark, scary people around.
Dude, they had less lights than we have right here on the whole arena. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, no, it helps people a lot. But then you get guys that they won't go past the bars. They got potential from Arizona. Yeah. And I know there's guys that ride just as good as I did growing up through high school, and they're still here in the bars, and I don't understand.
Well, I mean, dude, it's a big commitment. Look at this wild summer 20. It's a big commitment to go on and do what you've done. You know what I mean?
No, it is a full-time job. It's a full-time job.
Hey,
there he is.
Why don't we just let him jump in here? You just want to get in here? We got another one. Are you done? All right, JC.
He said I'm done.
Thank you guys for coming. I'm not ready. I'd love to sit here and talk with you guys, but there's so much stuff going on here. I need to get some stuff finished.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
Thank you guys all for having me here. I'll let Judd get in here and switch me out.
The birthday boy kind of stinks anyways.
I'll see you in just. Oh yeah, happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, thank you guys.